Okay, okay, I'm on live. Hey guys, it's Shana E. I am back. It's another Monday. Y'all, it's almost September. My birthday's in September, so yay. But it's almost September. I told y'all, and I know y'all agree, the time is flying by. It's flying, it's flying, it's flying. And soon it's going to be pumpkin spice season, which Starbucks is going to run out, and they're probably going to introduce pumpkin spice in a couple weeks or at the beginning of September. And I say that just because they ran out last year. Like, I think they introduced pumpkin spice at the end of August, which I think I even asked, I was like, y'all don't think this too early? I just asked the staff, y'all don't think this too early? I don't think it's it's still like burning up hot, and you're trying to introduce fall products or things that we associate with fall. But anyway, they ran out in a couple of weeks, so what do I know? I'm just me. What do I know? Um, so let's get into it. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Shana Edgecombe. I go by Shana E. That's how I signed my name from I was in high school. I am a pricing and positioning strategist. I am the founder and the lead consultant with TREP Consulting. I am an accredited SME consultant. I have a bachelor's degree in international business and human resources management. I also have minors in international area studies and French. Don't ask me to speak French. Don't ask me to speak French. So that was years ago. Just know that was years ago. But I did the required classes. I am based here in Nassau, Bahamas, but I also work with entrepreneurs from around the Caribbean specifically. So I have had the privilege of working with Caribbean entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs with Caribbean uh, heritage. That's the word, lineage. I was going to say lineage through the Canoe Innovation Hub. I've also been able to work with local entrepreneurs, Bahamian entrepreneurs, through the Academy of Women Entrepreneurs. That's our program of the U.S. Embassy with the Royal Caribbean Kickstarter program, with the Access Accelerator (SPDC) and the Royal Caribbean. And I have facilitated and done so many other trainings and different things over the years, including the Bridge program that we also did with the Access Accelerator 2019-2020. Okay, right before the world shut down for the pandemic. So I say all this to say, y'all, I ain't new to this. I'm not new to teaching business. I'm not new to talking about business. I'm not new to building out processes for clients. I'm not new to helping clients identify where things are going wrong when it comes to their pricing, their strategy, their positioning, even the tools that they need to adopt into their business. And that's something that I'm going to lean more heavily in part because a lot of y'all like to do things the hard way. I know why, but a lot of you like to do things hard. Y'all, when I tell y'all I turned the pages here, and my friends were like, what's happening? But like, I think for some reason I used to feel like, what is the term? I'm trying to remember the term. It's like work smart, not hard. For years, I did the opposite. I was like, oh, I need to work hard to prove myself. No, 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 no. No, as of last year going into this year, no, it's we're gonna work smart. And there are some of you, y'all do a lot of things the hard way, but you don't necessarily know that you're doing it the hard way. Or you may know that you're doing it the hard way, but you're not prepared to take the time or use your resources to do things in an easier way. And easier long term. It may not be easier upfront, but it will be easier long term, right? So, and I spoke to you guys last week about some of the tools that could actually make your life easier as a business owner. So, if you missed that, go back and watch it because that could be really helpful. And I'm going to do a part two on that at some point because I didn't get to a lot of the tools that I think you should consider using, depending on your industry, right? Everything is not applicable to everyone, right? Like Canva is for graphic designers and anyone who needs graphics. You may not be a designer. Whereas, you may not be someone who needs to deal with video, so you don't need to know how to use like CapCut and all these things, right? So it is dependent on your business. But that's not what we came here to talk about tonight. Tonight, and I'm just sharing this out, we're not here to talk about that. Tonight, we're here to talk about the fact that are you moving too fast? What did I call this officially? What did I call this? Are you being too fast? That's my topic for tonight. Are you being too fast? The Entrepreneur Edition. I had this thought in part because I have worked with so many clients over the years. I have my own experiences. I have clients' experiences. I've seen friends' experiences. I've seen other people's experiences, right? And so I started to think about how, again, we don't know what we don't know, right? And so sometimes we rush to do things when we shouldn't rush to do things. Now, mind you, a few months ago, I spoke about the fact that some of us need to have the audacity. So be mindful of this. I know sometimes it could seem like I'm contradicting myself because in a few months ago, I was like, have the audacity, and some of y'all just need to start. Yes. And tonight I'm talking about, are you being too fast? Understand that everything doesn't apply to you. But if you feel ouch, if you feel a little pain, if you feel like a little, I stepping on your corns, I mashing your toes, then it's applicable to you, right? If it's not applicable to you, throw it away or keep it in the back of your mind because one day you might need it or one day you might be able to share the knowledge with someone else. What I'm talking about tonight is some of y'all, and I went into a little bit when I said what rhymes with monk, which was conk. I went into it a little bit. And so go back and watch that live. That was like 3 weeks ago, maybe, if you missed that one. But I want to say one of the first things that we do, and this is a list of mistakes and things that we can do to counteract this, right? But one of the first things that I see that people make the mistake of doing is we run out and we're like, oh, I have this business idea. I need to create a logo. I need to go create a website. Or I need to pay someone to build a website. Or I need to customize a template. I need to pay someone to create a logo for me. I need to pay someone to animate the logo. I need to whatever. And not one product has been sold yet. In fact, some of y'all ain't even order inventory yet. I didn't mean to start off with bullets, my bad. That's my bad, honestly. I didn't even, I try to, I'm going to quote Howard from 96.9, the radio show. Howard always says he's trying, let's be decent about this. Let's be decent. He always trying to be decent. I was really trying to be decent tonight, right? But it could slip out. I apologize in advance. I really do. But I say all that to say, some of y'all focus on the wrong things. A logo is not going to necessarily get you that first sale or the 10th sale or the 20th sale. A website isn't necessarily going to get you a first sale, a second sale, a 20th sale. There's so many steps that you should do in between. I have this idea and I need to create a logo and I need to launch this website. Y'all need to validate your idea. No, I've done this. I've been guilty of this. Oh, I have an idea. Oh, I need to pay someone to create a logo for me. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. Meanwhile, I wasn't having conversations about not a nobody. I wasn't talking to anyone. I wasn't doing my market research. I was moving off of pure inspiration and spending money that I didn't need to spend. What you should be doing in the beginning is that you should be validating your idea. What do I mean by validating your idea? I said market research. Ask people who fit into the market that you want to sell to, hey, I have an idea for, let me, okay. This is live demonstration, y'all. This is live demonstration, okay? I have an idea for organic tea, and it's going to be fruit flavored. What do you think about this packaging? Would you pick this up and try it if you saw it sitting amongst other teas? What would make you pick this up? What would draw your eye to this? What do you think about the color? What do you think about the text on it? Is it easy to read? Would you be interested in trying a sample of this? Some of y'all ain't asking not a one question. Y'all see how many questions I ask? That's a survey that you can do verbally. You could send out written surveys, but I think, because quite frankly, we don't like surveys, we don't like forms, okay? So if you can literally go up to people, hey, do you mind giving me feedback on this? And I'm not telling you anything that I haven't done. I have done this. When I was selling my men's boxes, I literally had a prototype. It's called an MVP, right? A minimum viable product. I had an MVP, and it was a prototype of what I wanted to sell with examples, right? And it would be presented how I intended to present it. And I took it to men, and I would look at them and I would say, from a distance, I would say, I think he falls into my demographic. Let me go introduce myself, talk to him, and ask him what he thinks about this. And I was very specific about the different products, and then I asked, what do you think about the presentation? What do you think can be improved? What would you add to the box? What would you take away from the box? Would this fit into your lifestyle? How much money would you pay maximum for this product? If you saw this product priced at this amount down here, what would be your impression? And y'all, the range of answers were so valuable, a little surprising at times, but it was valuable. Okay? You can't live in a place in your head where you think that because your idea is great, that everyone else is going to think your idea is great, because you can get your feelings hurt a lot of the times. That's the equivalent of, like, imagine you decide to open a restaurant, and you want a restaurant where people actually sit inside. So you take the time, you build out the restaurant, you spend the thousands of dollars to outfit the restaurant, you buy the furniture, you change the walls, you finish the building or the space how you want it to be, you work on the menu, you hire the staff, you hire the chefs, you train the people, and then you just expect people to, as soon as you say open and you put up your sign, you expect people to just come flocking in. This point number 2. Some of you, some of you aren't willing to talk to people about what it is that you're doing. You may have opened this restaurant and you are selling a fusion of, like, I don't know, Mexican street food mixed with something, an interesting combination. Mexican street food mixed with, like, Indian food. Okay? You won't even ask if the people want it. You ain't did a pop-up. You didn't do taste testing, you didn't do samples, you didn't do like a food truck first, you didn't pop up at events, you didn't take photos of the food while you were testing them to take good product shots. You didn't do nothing. But you spent all this time investing into this space. And you expect people to just drive by and notice that your sign is up and then they'll come rushing in. That's not how this works. Especially if you are not a big influencer or you're not someone who is very, very, very known. And no, I'm not gonna go there. That's okay. I'm learning to edit myself. I'm not gonna go there because that's another tangent. Okay? I say all that to say that some of you need to spend the time to see if enough people even want what you're selling. Okay? A lot of times we want to move in secrecy. We don't want to let anybody put mouth on it. There is some validity to that. I'm not going to lie to you. There is some validity to that. Right? But many of us can't do what I just told you, which is we open a business and then they will come. Gone are the days. So there used to be for years, for decades, this belief that build it and they will come. That's not how this works now. We're in 2024. There's so much attention. As soon as there, let me back up. We are in the attention economy. So while you may think that your business is special and people should run to it, and I'm not talking down to you, I'm not talking down to you at all. I think that everyone's business has the ability to be special depending on the angle that we take it from, right? Even if you're selling something that everyone else is selling. So I'm not talking down to you or about your business. What I'm saying is, though, that we are in the attention economy. So let me give you a little bit of thought, right? And psychology. If you go to a website on your phone or on your computer, and the website takes more than 3 to 5 seconds to load, the vast majority of people will click off. They will not wait for that website to load anymore. That's it. Because by the time is that 5 seconds already passed, they already got a notification for something else from WhatsApp, from Instagram, from Facebook. If they have notifications on their phone, someone already called them, someone already texted them, something already flashed across their screen, an email notification already came in. And so you had 5 seconds to get their attention, you didn't, and now they've moved on to something else. Or now they're back to Googling something else that they need, and your website didn't load fast enough. That's the economy that we're in. Okay? You are competing. For those of you who don't care about competition, for those of you who don't care about competing, for those of you who don't want to have to pay attention to what other people are doing or how they're doing it or the best of the best and the whatever, I don't know what to tell you. Because you have to be aware of things like this. And I'm not even just talking about from a website perspective. I'm talking about from a business perspective. You have to be able to get people's attention. And it ain't gonna work if you think that you can open up a restaurant or you can just put up a social media page and say open, donuts for sale, whatever for sale, and you think that people are going to come beating down your door or blow up your DMs. Most of the time, that's not how it happens. For some people, yes, but that's not the majority. That's the minority. So, what am I telling you? You don't have to move in secrecy. No one is saying put all your business out there, but doggone it. Put something. Let people know. If you want people to know that you are building something, you could soft launch it. Y'all know like how, let me get a little trapsy. You know like how on social media, if someone wants it to be known that they're out on a date, but they don't want to show the person that they're out on a date with. Like some women, they'll just show like the watch on the person's wrist. They'll show a little forearm, but you'll never be able to tell who the heck that is because y'all good if y'all matching forearms, unless the person has like a very distinctive tattoo. That could be anyone arm as far as social media is concerned, right? Just do a little soft launch. Do it like that. Just give us a little tease. You don't have to explain the whole thing. You don't have to show us the whole shebang, but give us something. And if you want to be anonymous, that's fine too. So do it on a business page. Give some soft launches. Give some photos. Give some whatever. One example I will say, I liked it. They didn't do a whole lot of it, but I liked what they did do was Lewis and Steen. When they opened their King's College, I think it's King's College, their King's College location, they said something is coming soon. Even when they opened their Rubis location on Gladstone Road, something is coming soon. We're excited. They did a little tour. They did like an announcement. And then it was like, oh, okay. All right, I see you. I can't wait to see what this progresses into or what the final product looks like, right? Instead of them just opening up someday, okay? And then just expecting people to rush to them. There was a little bit of a build up, there was a little bit of a preview. And that's important. That's marketing. You might feel like it's giving out too much, but babes, that's marketing. Is it? That's all it is. It's just marketing, okay? So another example of this guy, he has a personal brand. He has a business, but it's heavy on the personal brand. His name is Karan Rose. He's I think his family's from Trinidad. He grew up in the States for the most part. Then he decided in adulthood to move back to Trinidad. And a week ago, he made the announcement that he's going to move to Thailand. And so now what he's been doing is almost every day for the last week, he has been posting about why he chose to move to Thailand, how he chose Thailand, why he chose to move out of the country, first of all, why he chose Thailand versus Colombia versus Singapore versus there was another country that he was looking at, Bali. And he's given us the blow by blow. He even showed a picture of him standing in front of his car, and he said, now the move is real because I just sold my car. And he's talking about, okay, Caribbean people, if you want to move to Thailand, these are the 3 best visas that you can apply for to get you to Thailand. Okay? So he is showing what his business is all about, which is literally he teaches people, namely Caribbean people, how to build their digital presence and monetize their platforms. For him, he is teaching people how to move and work anywhere in the world, especially Caribbean people. I know why I go between Caribbean and Caribbean, but don't worry about it. I move interchangeably between the 2 pronunciations. I just realized that. So he is literally the walking picture of, I'm doing it, I can help you do it. I'm going to walk you through it as I do it to show you that I can help you do it too. The man is smart. He's marketing. He's marketing his business. But yet some of y'all don't want to hold up a tripod to show you how you cooking. You don't want to set up a tripod to show you how you making your flowers. You don't want to set up a tripod to show how you are planning out your lessons or building your course or doing whatever. I mean, anyway, I said I was going to be decent tonight. I was going to try. I said I was going to try, man. Give me a little grace. I said I was going to try. Okay, so next thing is this. Conversely, while I have said that we a lot of times don't talk enough about what we're doing, I also want to say that some of us are too quick to talk about what we're doing. How do the 2 make sense? Okay, I got you. Story time. Story time. Okay, story time. I remember telling a friend and a mentor way back when I miss her dearly. Um, I do miss her dearly. This was back in 2000, I want to say 12, 13. I had told her about some of the things that I had been wanting to do because I wasn't always on this entrepreneurship road. I very much so had jobs. I very much so had good jobs. And one of them, anyway, I had good jobs. So I met her on this job. And I was talking to her about some of my plans after the job. And so she was aware that I had multiple things that I wanted to do. So one day I came to her with yet again another idea. And she said to me, well, Jesus, you ain't execute on one yet. And you bringing another idea to me? Could you just finish one first? Y'all, can I tell you, I was ashamed, but she was right. I had all these ideas. I wasn't doing anything with them. I don't even think I was writing a lot of them down. They were just fleeting thoughts that I had that was like, oh, that would be a good idea. And I didn't necessarily do anything with them. Now, there are a couple that I brought to life eventually. And I think the beginning of that, the beginning of this wasn't even conceived back then yet, right? This came about, Trap came about more so like the start of it, 2016, 2015, okay? I was shamed, but I understood what she meant immediately, which is I need to learn how to start and I need to learn how to finish. And I said that towards the beginning when I started talking to you, which is that some of y'all just need to start. The same way that I had an issue with starting, I started, I did. The things that I started, though, they were just iterations and they were just me testing out and testing the waters of entrepreneurship. So those things that I'm doing that I did then when I finally started aren't necessarily the things that I'm doing now. But they helped me get on a trajectory of starting and continuing, or even just being able to pause and reflect and evaluate, is this still working? Did it ever work? Is it something that I want to keep spending time on and putting resources on? Or should I just wrap this up and then eventually I will start something else that's more sustainable that I really, really love? Why am I saying this to you? Because it's really easy to get caught up in inspiration. It's really easy to get caught up in, oh, this is a great idea. I want to do this. And we run after, some of us run after, like we have this shiny, what is it called? Shiny object syndrome. Where, oh, I want to do this over there. Oh no, but wait, there's something else. Oh, let me go do that. There's something else. And it's like, focus. Focus down. Before you get too excited and you want to go run and tell someone or run and tell people what you're doing, sit down. Ask yourself, is this what I really want to do? Ask yourself, do I love this? Do I see myself doing this whether or not I'm getting paid for it because I'm that passionate about it? Do I see a need for it whether or not I love it? Because remember now, every business you don't necessarily start because you love. You may start because you see a need, you see an opportunity, and for you to fill that opportunity. You don't have to love it. You may just love filling that opportunity and being profitable and making money, and that's okay. I'm not going to shame you for that. Don't allow anyone to shame you for that. You can start a business and you don't have to love it, but you could do it well. You could run it well, and it could be sustainable and profitable. Okay? But ask yourself the questions and then do the research. Do your homework. sit down and really think about, do I really want to do this as a business? Or should this be a hobby? Or should this be something that, yeah, it's a business idea, but it's not for me? Y'all, I have no shortage of business ideas. But I have learned over the years that they're not all for me. A lot of them are not for me. A lot of the strategies and the ideas and things that I get, they're not for me. And so when I come across somebody who I feel could benefit from it, or they would actually execute it, or it could be built on what they're already doing, I'll release it. 10 more will come. I know that. God will give me 10 more. It's okay. And all of them are not for me, or all of them are not for me to execute in this time period. And there are some of you, that's another thing. Some of you need to learn that there are seasons and timing. Y'all, timing is so very important. Everything that gets downloaded to you, not only is it not for you, but sometimes it may be for you, but not for that season that you're in. And you have to know that. You have to learn to discern that. That's a future idea. That's a future business. That's a future product. That's a future service. That is not for right now. So you write it down, you make note of it, and then you come back to it. There are some things that I'm going to execute on in the next year that they came to me and I wrote them down, or I planned them out in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. There's a product that came to me in 2020 that I really was supposed to sit down and write that out and design it. 4 years later, I haven't done it yet. But I'm determined that I'm going to do that this year, because I was supposed to have that done and sitting there until God said it's time. But I was being disobedient and I didn't create it yet. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm speaking to somebody. Do what you're supposed to do. Let's be obedient. I'm talking to myself as well. Okay, I've already started mapping it out. I have to build it out though. Okay? So before you run and tell someone about your latest inspiration, do your homework. Y'all know I love homework. Ask yourself the questions that I asked you before. And remember something too. If you have a problem executing, if you have a problem finishing or completing things, could be an idea, could be a business, could be assignments, whatever it is, there's a good chance that that is showing up in other areas of your life, like your relationships. I always tell y'all, entrepreneurship will expose every weakness that you have. It will expose the dysfunction, the trauma, the everything. It will expose. And for some of you, it has and will expose the fact that you don't bring things to completion. And you have to break that. Okay. Before I go too deep down down that hole, I don't want to switch into the other part. Okay? But I'll allow it as it leads. Do the homework. Ask yourself those questions. Which leads me to the next point, which is, a lot of you don't plan your businesses. Y'all don't plan. Y'all don't plan. You don't plan. And so what happens is, some of you want a business plan. You don't know why you want a business plan. And I've spoken about this in the past too. You don't know why you want a business plan. You just know a business plan is something you should have if you have a business. And so what happens is, a lot of you want the business plan. You will hire someone to do the business plan, but you expect that business plan writer to actually map out your business for you, to plan out your business for you. Now, mind you, if you have that 4 figures ready, I'll build your business for you. I'll do it. And I ain't talking about $1,000 either. I'll do it. I ain't talking about 2 or 3 either. I'll do it for you, you know. But there's two issues that come up. Two, two issues that come up. One is that some of y'all want someone to build out your business for $600. How? 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 I looking around like I waiting for the answer to follow the sky, because that must be how you expect your business plan to follow the sky for $600. That's number one. Number two, this is your idea. You hopefully have the industry knowledge, or at least are planning on acquiring the business industry knowledge. To ask a stranger who doesn't understand your industry the way that you understand your industry, if your business is in the industry that you have your expertise in, is wild. To ask someone to build out your suite of products and services, and they have no industry knowledge about your industry the way that you do, is wild. To then ask that person to price your products and services without your input, when you have the industry knowledge, if you have it, is extra wild. But some of you expect that to happen. And then you also expect a person to be able to do projections, and you ain't provide not a one number yet. In order to do projections, a person has to know how much you're selling your products and services for, and you don't know. In order for someone to do your projections, a person has to know how much it costs you to run your business, and you don't even know, because you didn't do the homework. You didn't do the research. And you want someone to write out an investor quality business plan that you have given them very little besides just the name of the business. This is who I want. This is generally the industry that I want to serve in. This is generally what I want to sell. And by the way, y'all kill me when y'all say, I want to sell to everybody. If I could roll my eyebrows straight, eyeballs straight around in my head, every time I hear that, and my head could spin, I would do that. Calls my skin every time. But I'm not going to go down that path. Just know that if you're somebody who is still saying that you sell to everybody, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Walmart doesn't sell to everybody. There are some people who will never step foot into a Walmart and who will never log on to a Walmart website. And Walmart sells thousands and thousands of things. And there are some people who would never shop with them, never spend their money for whatever reason. As big as Walmart is, and they can't get everybody, as big as Target is, and they can't get everybody, as big as whoever is, Shein, Temu, all of them, Amazon even, as big as they are, and they can't get everybody to buy with them. You think everyone can spend their money with you? I don't understand. I don't understand. But anyway, I'm just a girl. That's my new phrase. I am just a girl. I am just a girl. I'm just trying to help you all, but ultimately I am just a girl. Yeah. So, yeah. Before you approach a business plan writer, do your research. At least be able to answer the questions that would be put into a one-page executive summary. What you sell, why you sell it, who you sell to, how much you're going to charge. I just added that. That's not in the typical one-page executive summary. And basically product, price, place, promotion, your marketing as well. How you're going to sell, who you're going to sell to, why you're selling, what you're going to sell, and why are you the one that is selling, and why should people buy from you and your business. That's what you need to be able to articulate before you roll up on anybody talking about, I need you to write a business plan for me. Okay. I'm closing up. I'm wrapping up shortly. Okay? I'm wrapping up shortly. Another thing is, some of you, and this is a mistake, some of you are too quick to take on bills that you don't need to take on. Sometimes that you can't actually afford to take on. What do I mean by that? Some of you are rushing into taking money from your day job and pouring it into your business, and you haven't done the prerequisite work. Some of you are in talks with investors, with debtors, like for loan money, for example, and you haven't actually proven the concept yet. I have seen people who didn't need to get storefront space, and the business could have really started as an e-commerce website or as a social media page in which there is no physical website yet, but you could still take orders. Let me tell you all, that rent and that electricity and those utility bills and those miscellaneous costs that pop up if the AC goes bad, if someone breaks in and steals your stuff and all these things, and your insurance, if you get it, they are no joke. They will take a lot of businesses out that could potentially survive longer if there was no storefront and the cost associated with that. But some of y'all are too quick to run out and agree to these terms of getting locked in for a year, for 3 years, for 5 years. And they're locking you into that to protect themselves. It ain't to protect you, it's to protect themselves. That you won't just move in 1 month and move out the next month, and you have agreed that no matter what, you're on the hook to pay them that rent for the next year, 3 years, 5 years. Otherwise, you're breaking the contract, and that has legal implications. That could cost you more in the long run. There's some of you right now, if I ask you, like you may complain about not having funding, right? Even though you need funding. And if I ask you how much money you need, you can't tell me. You can't give me a dollar amount. You just know you need money and you complain that you can't get the money. Or there's some of you, you can give me an amount, but you can't necessarily tell me, okay, well, you need 30 grand. Okay, I ask you, how are you going to spend the 30 grand? I mean, I need to buy inventory. What you need to buy? I need stuff. What stuff? I mean, I need inventory. Y'all can't explain to me what exactly you spending money on. That's a common thing. That's very common. I'm not even going to go deep in tonight how some of you are operating, but you have no idea how much money your business has made. You're not tracking your sales. You're not tracking anything. And then have the audacity to complain if you are applying for grants or applying for other things, or you're talking to investors, you're talking to people because you're trying to get funding into the business, and then you complain because they're asking you for financial statements, they're asking you for a paper trail. I mean, so what? Because you asked them for 50 grand, they should just give you $50,000? The fact that you can't produce not a one financial record tells them, you know what? This person is not good with money, or they can't be trusted to be good with money, or they're not going to be able to account for this money after we give them this money. So you know what we're not going to do is we're not going to give them this money. You can't be lazy and then expect people to look past the laziness to accommodate you. Y'all, I said I was going to try to be decent. That just slipped out. It literally just slipped out. And I know everyone isn't lazy. I know that there are some people who are genuinely overwhelmed with the nature of running a business, with running the operations of a business, or handling the financials of the business. But that's where you ask for help. That's where you, as much as possible, if you can, you hire someone who can handle that for you. You don't necessarily say, well, okay, if I'm not capable of doing it, I'm just not gonna, like, it's not gonna get done. You need your business financials regardless. You need to be tracking your sales regardless. There are certain things that you have to be doing in your business. If you don't know how to use social media, you can't just say, well, oh, well, you know, the business doesn't have any social media because I don't know how to do it. That don't make sense. Find someone or learn how to do it. And when I say find someone, y'all would be surprised that I'm not saying to approach people about bartering if you don't have a relationship. But I'm saying that sometimes people are willing to say, you know what? If you do this for me, I'll do that for you. Or you can find an intern, you can find a college student, you can find someone who's training, you can find any number of people. You can ask around in your circle, ask around in people who in circles outside of your circle. What is the best way to get this done? And I have a small budget. No shame in that. But you have to get it done, is the point. Y'all, I'm in an accelerator program right now, the Branson Center for Entrepreneurship Caribbean. I'm in the accelerator program. And as I started off in the beginning, giving you my list of history, I've taught in accelerator programs. I'm now in an accelerator program. I'm now doing homework. I don't just give y'all homework, I have homework too. I have homework. And this accelerator program has forced me to look at certain things that I didn't necessarily focus on before. Like, what the heck is my growth strategy? In deep detail. Like, yeah, okay, I want to do some things. No, how you going to do that? What's the timeline? What's the point of you doing that? What is the result of it going to be? Okay? I have to consider the risk to the growth strategy. What can stop me from achieving those things in the business? What about product development? What about the value chain? What about industry analysis and so on and so forth? These are very real questions that I have to answer. And at the end of it, I have to create a pitch deck. And then I have to pitch. So I'm not sitting up here telling y'all things that I am not doing myself or have done myself. I'm the teacher and I'm also the student. So I'm not sitting up on my high horse looking down on you, just lecturing you. I'm telling you these things because I know you need them. I know that I had to learn them. I know that there are some of you who are going to be in situations where you want to apply to be part of accelerators, where you want to apply for funding, where someone might approach you and say, hey, we want to invest. Or, hey, we would love to do this for you in your business. We really like you, but there are some things we need to see first, such as your financials. And there are some of you who may very well lose out or go into a panic because you're unprepared. At the end of the program, the accelerator program, we're pitching. I don't need to pitch for money, okay? I don't intend to pitch for money. I would say I don't need to, but it's not a priority in that sense, right? I would be pitching for something else, and you don't have to pitch for money. Sometimes you are preparing your business for partnership, mentorship, for collaboration. And people want to see that you have things in place, especially if you're talking about potentially working with big organizations or international organizations. They definitely want to see that you have things in place. Remember how I talked about before, and I say this often or often enough, take yourself seriously. Take your business seriously. Because if you don't take you seriously, who is going to take you seriously? Who's going to be inclined to take you seriously? There are some people that I have conversations with, and I can see the potential of where they're going and where their business can go. But I can only talk to the extent to which their mind is able to see where I'm saying, okay, you could go in this direction, like this could be big. But if the mind is not ready, the mind is not ready. That's not anything that I can do. Okay? I can talk to you about getting ready for the opportunities, but if you don't believe that you're worthy of the opportunities, then you can easily self-sabotage by not doing the things that you need to be doing, by not doing the things that I'm telling you to do, or someone else who may be helping you, telling you what to do as well. You may not listen to them because in your mind, what's the point? I'm not going to get those things anyway. Y'all, I went through a lot been happening this year, right? Internally, okay? And in my mind, most of all. Clearing out some things, realizing some things, coming to some realities, some truths, admitting some things to myself, getting rid of some things, digging some things up, okay? And like I said before, what happening in your personal life and what's going on up here is going to come out in your business. I've said that so many times before. If you're in chaos internally, your business maybe not the whole thing, but parts of your business may also look like it's in chaos as well, right? And function like it's in chaos. And one of the things for me this year, I said, you know what? I'm going to try things out. I'm going to go for it. If I see an opportunity and I have a thought, I wonder, okay, apply. Just apply. Y'all, I was really grateful because I was one of the 83 ladies. I think it was 83, not 85. It was 83 ladies who was awarded the Women's Entrepreneurship Grant this past Wednesday. Really grateful. There are so many times when I have pointed people to apply to these grants. I've spoken to people about applying to the grants. I have directed people about what would make them good candidates, or say, hey, next time you don't have these things in place, but next time this is what you need to do. And then when it came out, I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to apply. Instead of just helping other people, let me apply. Let me see what happens, right? I saw the Branson Caribbean. Let me change my pronunciation again. The Branson Center for Entrepreneurship Caribbean. I saw someone say, I think it was last year or this year, maybe last year, that they earned a certificate on LinkedIn. And I said, let me go look up what that program is about. I went to the website. I signed up for the wait list. I signed up for the newsletter. Got an email saying that the program application admission is now open. I applied. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I was on a break in, I think that was April, May. I was on a break off the island, and I was in a session. And I jumped up because I said, oh my gosh, I have a submission due in 30 minutes and I have to do a video. I went out on the balcony, I shot my video, I sent it, I emailed it, and then I went back inside to the group. And then like a week or two later, I found out that I had been chosen into the program. The video was the second round. I say all that to say that I decided to put myself out there this year. I decided, you know what? Why not? And there are some of you who have to adopt that attitude as well. Why not? But even if you ask why not, or why not me, also remember that there's work that has to be done when you ask why not, or why not me. You still have to pick yourself up and go do the work. I'm not talking about striving. I'm not talking about hustling. I'm literally talking about positioning yourself. That's all it is. Getting in alignment. Positioning yourself. I decided that in 2024, I was going to position myself. If something is going to come my way, my hands need to be open to accept and receive it. If something is going to come my way, I need to be, if the ball is going to come to me, if the ball is going to come in my court, the proverbial, the ball is in your court, right? If the ball is going to come into my court, so that I can decide to make the next move, I need to make sure I'm in the game first. There are some of you, you need to make sure that you're in the game. And making sure that you're in the game is thinking through your business. It is creating a minimum viable product if you don't have one already. And if you're tuning in late, watch the replay. I explain what it is and how I did that, how I used an MVP for market research. Some of you need to do market research. Some of you need to update your financials, or you need to start over with your financials. Some of you need to have a conversation with me, a paid conversation. You need to have a paid conversation with me, right? About what you need to do to get yourself set up to be in position to receive what it is that you're supposed to receive. The clients, the money, the opportunities, the grant funding, the profit, the engagements, people calling, asking for you. Some of you need help, okay? And I said it before. You can't free your way into making big money. That's not how it works, okay? I invest the same way how I tell y'all work with somebody. You don't have to work with me. I invest. I work with people. I pay for memberships. I buy courses. I buy templates. I buy canned responses. I buy any number of things because, one, if it'll help me work smarter, not harder, and it's in the budget, absolutely. If it's out of budget right now, I can save up, but I'll get it. Okay? If it's knowledge that I know I need, I'm gonna pay for it. If I know I need help with something, I'm gonna pay for the session. I'm gonna pay for the consultation. I'll pay for the strategy session. I'll pay for whatever. I'll have the conversation. I'll reach out. I'll do what I need to do so that I could be in position. And that's what I want to ultimately tell you. Get yourself in position. Do not move so fast to where you can cause your business to break down. That's the thing, it happens. Or you can cause your business to break. Do not move so fast to where you break down personally. There's so many things that you can do in between. And so that is the last point for me. I was trying to keep up with my stream to see if anyone had comments. Let me see. If you're watching on the replay and you have or you want to chime in, let me know. You could always inbox me as well. You could WhatsApp me. However, you have my contacts. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the congratulations. And the compliment on my hair, Miss Smith. I appreciate you. Timothy, thank you. Thank you so much. If you feel like anyone needs to hear this knowledge, tag them, send it to them, private message it to them, WhatsApp it to them, okay? Share it with them. Spread the wealth. I don't sit here, honestly, and do this every week just for me because, first of all, it's very strange to watch myself talk on a screen, but I'm trying to look in the camera, right? It's very strange to see my reflection looking back at me. Two, I don't really particularly care for my own voice, the sound of my own voice, but I know I'm not alone. Most people don't like the sound of their own voice anyway, right? So whatever. That's not a thing that I'm going to allow to stop me. And I could be doing other things, right? I really could be. But I feel like this is part of my mandate of what I should be doing right now and for right now is to provide the resources that some people need, but they're not necessarily able to pay for it yet, right? But I can begin to lay the foundation for how to set up a business for long-term sustainability. And ultimately, of course, I'm here to make money. You should be here to make money. If you're running a business, you should be concerned about making money. Otherwise, run it as a hobby or start it as a nonprofit. And y'all, the big nonprofits, the big NGOs, not necessarily in this country, they make money. I'm talking about the international ones, okay? They make money. So I appreciate you guys. Let me just say really quickly that the couple things, the BDB just launched something today, I think it is. It's specifically for people in the tourism industry and other industries. I'm trying to find it so that I can share if it comes up quickly. They just shared it, they just launched it either today or yesterday. And I want to help get the word out. I have no affiliation with the BDB. I do not work there. They've never paid me for anything, but I still want to highlight certain things that can help you. So they are calling all entrepreneurs in the tourism, agriculture, and the creative industries. They have announced the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDG Concessional Loan Fund. You can get 0 to 2% interest financing for applicable businesses. So it is for business owned, led, or of benefit to women, women and or persons with disabilities. The business must be in existence for 2 or more years. Okay, and that's 0 to 2% interest financing. So that's not a grant, it is a loan. You will have to pay back that money. The SBDC, I believe, said in a comment that I read on social media that they are launching the men's initiative. The same way they had the women's grant initiative, they're launching the men's initiative next month in September. So keep an eye out for that. Follow the BDB page, follow the SBDC page, the Access Accelerator page, so that you can keep track of what is available. Men, they're coming to you next month, so get your stuff together. And as I wrap up, I want to say this. There are some people who have noted, maybe even complained, that these entities, as I just read off, it says that you had to have been a business for 2 years. That's the BDB requirement for that program. For the SBDC grant funding, you have to have a business license, some financials, a couple other things, right? And so there's a reason behind that. I don't work with either entity. I did work on an IDB contract that was executed by the SBDC. In full transparency, I've mentioned that before, okay? But I'm not and never was responsible for deciding who got money, who got grants, who got loans, who got whatever. That was totally outside of my realm. But I will say this. I understand why they would want you to be a legally recognized entity before they give you money or to qualify. One, the government wants to crack down on the number of unlicensed businesses that are operating. They want to have an accurate account of how many businesses are actually operating in the Bahamas. And I would wager to say that at least 30% of businesses are, I would say more, but at least 30% of businesses that are operating are unlicensed, which creates issues for the government because one, you are not accounted for when it comes to statistics. Two, you're not accounted for when it comes to taxation. You're also not accounted for when it comes to, and by taxation I mean like VAT and to whatever else that business owners have to pay. You're also not necessarily liable to NIB, which should be paid, okay? So that can be problematic for the government. So I do understand Two is, as I said before, you taking the time to go through the business licensing process shows a bit more that you are serious about the business, and you have spotlighted yourself that you're willing to make the business a legal going concern that the government can recognize. So that shows that you have a bit of skin in the game, right? Three, if they want you to produce at least 3 years of financials, they want to see not just how your business has been progressing, whether it's growing, uh, not growing, or staying stagnant, but it's also you've been running this business for a while. There's a difference between, if you give someone who has a business idea $5,000 and they haven't sold anything yet and they've not made themselves legally recognized by having a business license, versus someone who's been operating for 5 years and they need a cash injection of $5,000. Because that business that's already operating, they have things to show that, hey, we're in operation, we're selling, we're adding to the economy, we are sustaining ourselves, at least for right now. That business that is just an idea, it could happen, it may start, it may not start, it may shut down in 6 months, it may shut down in a year. Y'all, I give y'all stats. I'm a stats person. I'm a trends person. This is generally what happens person, and back it up by data. Data says that 70% of businesses, and this isn't just in the Bahamas, 70% of businesses fail in the first year. Only about 20 to 30% of businesses that ever start actually make it to the 10-year mark or past the 10-year mark. I make these stats up. They're out there. They're out there for the Bahamas. They're out there for the US as well. So a business making it to year 2 and 3, that's already surpassing the expectation that 70% of businesses fail within the first year. Anyway, I'm a nerd about these types of things because I believe in research, I believe in data, I believe in having numbers and statistics to back up what it is that we're trying to do in this country, which is build the economy. And we need to do better about that. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to work with me, click the link in the description box for the video. You will be able to see my services. You will be able to pay online as well. You will be able to book your session with me. You can also shoot me a message. You can shoot me a message via social media, or if you have my WhatsApp number, you can do that as well. If you do not have my WhatsApp number, don't ask me for my WhatsApp number, because that means you don't know me personally. Okay, so you can email me as well, or you can reach out to me through social media. So I appreciate you guys. You could have been doing anything else in the whole world, but you decided to spend some time with me, and for that I am always grateful. I appreciate you. I will see you same time next week. Bye.